I asked you to submit your questions, you did, and now it's time for me to overshare in return. I don't know if I want to call this question and answer series TMI time. You asked, I overshared. There were some other options people said. I don't know. Tell me what you want me to call it. This Q&A series is for you to ask me any questions you maybe don't feel like you can ask anyone else. I will basically answer your questions, no filter. I wanted to start a question and answer series because I get a lot of DMs, mostly from girls who are insecure about their bodies and are looking for advice, but I hope this Q&A series shows you that you're not alone. All questions are completely anonymous, by the way. And I'll open a question box for you to submit your questions for the next Q&A video on my Instagram story, so go ahead and follow me at Scaringe and at Cherri. All right, let's get into it. I feel insecure about my bestie down there, outie gang, and I'm scared men will judge me. What should I do? Babe, if a man is judging your labia, you should be judging his brain. We all know outies are normal, functional, attractive. Most of the time, men are too busy being grateful for the fact that they got any coochie at all. So seriously, don't worry about it. One of the biggest things that helped me was not seeing my body through other people's eyes and asking myself, what if this body didn't have to be loved by the world in order to be accepted and respected by me? Shaving, waxing, what is better for your skin health down there? TBH, neither. Dermatologists say that waxing leads to fewer ingrowns, but causes more trauma to your skin barrier. And shaving is obviously easier and cheaper, but you have a higher ingrown risk compared to waxing. The best move for your skin and health down there would to be letting your hair grow out. I have an entire video about if pubic hair is hygienic. I think it's a good watch. But if you do want to opt for hair removal, I would say the best move is whatever keeps you comfy. If you do opt for hair removal, just make sure that you're exfoliating and hydrating the area afterwards. I will link my favorite coochie-friendly products for your shaving routine. Which Cherri panties are your favorite? For me, it's a tie between the G-string and the bikini brief. The bikini brief is like the most comfortable to me, and the G-string is basically just like the thong version of that. I think the bikini brief is slept on because I think people are afraid of like the string sides, but it's so comfy, I swear. Get the spring fling pack. What's it like doing everything as a small business owner? Equal parts chaos and delusion. One minute I'm making goofy TikToks and the next I'm crying into my QuickBooks. Because to be honest, doing everything myself is discouraging sometimes. So my secret lover that I have mentioned a few times has a startup and it's going really well. He's only maybe been working on it for like a year or two, and his Instagram following is now the same as like my Instagram following, but he's had his business's Instagram for like 9 months and I've had mine for 5 years. And I constantly think, well, fuck, if I just had the money to throw at it, like, of course I feel like I'd be like way further along than I am. And he has like a whole team of people. I've had people offer to do like free work for me, but one, I feel weird accepting free labor. Two, the labor that is offered to me is not things that I need help with. I need higher level operational and growth support, which people are definitely not offering for free. How did you get over being essayed by a family member? First of all, crazy question. And if you couldn't guess, that was asked by a man. I didn't get over it. What the fuck? That language just makes it feel like my experience was just like getting over my goldfish dying. Tell me you haven't experienced trauma without telling me you haven't experienced trauma. You never really truly get over trauma. You just learn better ways to cope with it. I think maybe it can seem like I am over it because I do talk about it openly. I've spent enough time in a woe is me victim mentality, which I feel like I very much need to go through, and a lot of people need to experience that to process the pain and feel the pain. But that's an exhausting place to be in, and I found that when I stopped trying to make sense of other people's actions, I lent myself softness and understanding instead. And I'm not saying my trauma is one of those things that's like, oh well, everything happens for a reason, God has a plan for us. I don't think the Almighty Lord and Savior would plan to have children essayed. But what I'm saying is more like, I experienced this hard thing, but it's not something I can change. It happened, and now I just have to move forward with my life and conquer the next hard thing, and the next hard thing, and the next hard thing. Because there's always going to be another hard thing. There's always going to be another trauma. And we can either let it consume us, or we can continue to go with the flow of life. And the PTSD still comes up all the time. You just learn to cope with it better and learn that life is not going to be easy. And that's not to say to relinquish control, to give up, have a backseat to life and let things happen to you. It's about moving forward, not staying behind. I still can't believe that question was phrased like that. Like, be fucking for real. Have you heard that the labia minora shrinks during menopause? Yes. Lower estrogen means less blood flow, which means shrinking labia and thinner skin. The female body is weird. There are so many things we still don't know about the female body. So learn to love your little labia now, because one day they might be gone. When will the black G-strings be back in stock? Hopefully soon. Are the tariffs affecting you? Yes. Oh my God. I've been working on moving my production to an international factory in an effort to decrease my cost and lower my retail price. I've been working on this process for the past 2 years. I've been pouring so much money into it. I don't think people understand how expensive this whole process is. And it's not as easy as I thought it would be. I thought like, oh, I have these like patterns and spec sheets and I'll just send them over to the manufacturer and they'll be able to replicate it. It hasn't been like that. If one thing is off, it changes the whole thing. I've spent so much time developing these products locally to ensure the right fit, and it's basically redoing that. But anyway, yeah, the tariffs, I forgot that was the original question. As I said, I've been pouring money into transitioning things overseas so I can lower my prices, and now the tariffs have made everything more expensive and will make production more expensive, which is like not really what I had planned. And I can't continue to make things domestically because I already spent like $10,000 knitting my custom fabric overseas, and it would just cost way more to get it shipped here to produce. So I'm kind of stuck one way or the other. I might just take the L, but it seems like the tariffs are all over the place, and I'm hoping it will smooth out soon and smooth out by the time I move into production. What's the gayest you've ever been? I don't know, probably when I fucked a girl. How the fuck do we survive this dating scene? We're not. I made a whole video about it. We're not dating in 2025. Any Cherri ideas that never made it to production? Oh my God, tons. I had been working on a pad-friendly boxer for a while, so a boxer that would have an open gusset so you could tuck the wings of your pad inside. Obviously, there's other boxers out there, but the biggest concern is that the leg holes always ride up. So I was like, how can I make them not ride up while also not digging into the skin? And I was just struggling way too hard on that. So we took a pause on developing that style. We also took a pause on developing my hipster style, and we took a pause developing my seamless styles. I've been also trying to develop some camel toe proof swimwear, and I will be crowdfunding for that. But it's a little bit different than typical to crowdfunding, basically. I want to do it through a platform called Oversubscribe, where if you invest, you basically would get a certain percentage of the revenue from the collection back, in addition to exclusive perks and the product and all of that. So you don't feel like you're donating, you feel like you're growing with me and earning money when I earn money. I'll link the Oversubscribe below if you want to check it out and help me get some camel toe proof swimwear into production. How do you meet guys? I don't. Meeting guys sounds awful, and I want them as far away from me as possible. My girlfriend's vagina has a really bad smell even during and after a shower. Do you have any advice to deal with that without hurting her feelings? So I actually don't know the gender identity of the person who asked this question, but I actually think they are a woman. So let's keep that in mind. And there's kind of no easy way to tell someone this. If she is truly healthy, meaning no infection, then having some, vaginal odor is normal. It shouldn't be overpowering though. But if you're noticing it has like a really foul, like fishy smell that doesn't go away even after washing, it might be worth suggesting that she go to the gyno to see if she might have BV. You can also go to Wisp to get treatment for BV. It makes it super quick and easy to get it without having to go in office to get checked. I will put my discount for that in the description. I love Wisp for so many reasons. I use it all the time. But when it comes to approaching it with her, it's better to frame it as concern rather than criticism. You can suggest both making gynecologist appointments together, like maybe that you're afraid to go by yourself. You can be like, hey, I want to go to the gynecologist. Let's go together and both make appointments so it feels less scary. I'll make an appointment for you too. How's this date and this date? And then it feels less about her and more about you guys together, because you just want to feel super close and comfortable together, and you can say that. How is your cat so adorable and grumpy looking? This one. She channels feminine rage and stores it in her eyeballs. Alright, so those are all the questions I'm going to get through today. I don't want to make this video too long. If you have a question you want me to answer in my next video, comment below. You can also follow me on Instagram and add your question in my Instagram story when I open up the question box. Just keep up with my stories to know when I open it. You can ask the question in my Instagram stories if you don't want your question, publicly in the comments. I love the chaotic questions people keep asking. So keep asking them, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more coochie related content.